Hello, this is SteveTheWeave back again, and today I'm going to be doing a room tour of my room because, I don't know, I guess I could just flex my stuff because I'm an asshole like that. I don't know. Okay, let's start with the boring stuff. Here's my main desk right here, which is where I like edit videos, live streaming. And this is the main device where it all happens. It's called the MacBook. Now, everybody will freak out and be like, oh no, Windows is better. What is wrong with you? Well, without this thing, how can I make my epic music? Yeah, that's a really good question. Even with this thing. This is my KeyStation 49 MK3. Which is what I use it's a MIDI keyboard / controller, which is what I use to make my music in GarageBand, which is what I use on here. So this and this is where you get the music. Anyway, there's my whiteboard with my epic saying. And then over here, a bunch of random shelves. Up here is my other camera, which you've probably seen in other videos. This is the Sony Handycam, what is it? DCR SX85. I think this came out in like 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. So yeah, this is kind of like my nostalgic camera that I use. And there's more in this drawer, but we'll get to that. This is just the AC adapter for it. This cool little magnetic bead thing I just have. And then my AirPods, another flex, got them. Anyway, physical Cards Against Humanity right here, which I haven't opened yet because I haven't had the opportunity to like actually play with people because I'm fucking lonely and no one wants to play with me. Anyway, and then next to it is my Pink Floyd playing cards. You'll soon know later on that I'm a massive fan of Pink Floyd. You'll find out. Anyway, and then on the bottom is just some Apple headphones, which I use for whenever I'm like live streaming or working on music or editing. And here is a Thomas snow globe that I got many years ago. It's pretty lit. It's cool. And then next to that is my microphone, which just decided to fucking die on me. I don't know what the hell the problem is. So, might have to get a new microphone in that time. And then next to it is just my little light remote, which is plugged in right here. So if I turn it on, now it's purple. Whoa. Whoa. I can change it like red, green, blue, a bunch of different colors. Oh, you guys want seizures? Okay. I got him. Alright, anyway. So yeah. And then, what else? In this drawer, there's a bunch of random crap. Wires and stuff. Extra microphones. Like, this is my old one. I don't know if I should go back to this one because it's pretty crap quality. If you guys want me to like test it out, then I could try doing that. And then here, this is also what I got last Christmas. This is a little like clip-on microphone. You may see it with like professional YouTubers where they like clip a microphone to their shirt so then they can amplify their voice. I've used this probably like twice. One time I've used this was in the Thomas discography review to like amplify my voice, so that's pretty cool. Old tripod, which I don't use because it freaking hurts. And then in here is another nostalgic camera. This is an Olympus digital camera, which I haven't used in a while. This was in videos such as James and the Bridge, Thomas and Joe, as I can remember. Just go to the Northwestern Nostalgia playlist, and then those are the two videos that I remember, but there's probably some more. But yeah, that's that camera if you want to know. Webcam, and then yeah, so there's that. And there's just a bunch of different like school notebooks and supplies and whatever. You don't really need to see that. Over here is my bed. It's a big ass thing. It literally takes up like a good chunk of the room because I'm such a tall bastard. And then on the side, you gotta. This is my Pink Floyd The Wall tapestry on the wall. It really fits. It literally feels like I'm trapped. Anyway, yeah, Pink Floyd The Wall, or just The Wall, is my favorite album from the band. And there's more simping for that on the left side, which I have a poster of all the songs with their respective lyrics. So that's cool. And then, oh yeah, I messed up here. Here's some more Floyd. Well, actually, this thing is a laser projector, which I haven't used in a while since I already have a light projector. But it only shoots like red and green colors, so like if I need to like use it, then I would. Right here is my Pink Floyd Discovery box set, which includes every single studio album on CD, except for this one. This came out in 2011, so that means that this one, The Endless River, didn't come out during that time because this came out in 2014. So I just decided to include that. I also included at the very beginning the early years CD for songs from 1967 and 1972. And then everything else here is the standard studio album that came with the box set. It's pretty cool. It's like, what, $100 worth it. And then next to that is my Wall Immersion box set, which is really cool. It came with the CDs, the live CD, and then like a bunch of like memorabilia or whatever. One example is actually on this wall. This was a picture that came with it. This is supposed to be the wife from like the movie, or like from the animations. You guys, you don't get it. You guys don't care. You don't want to see Thomas. So here you go. Here's a Thomas thing. This is actually this is a prop. Everything here, the track and the trucks. This is a prop from the Cranky Gets Roasted video, where you watched a Mattel Cranky get burned, and this Thomas had to witness the pain. As you can see, he's kind of still covered in some I don't know what you call it, debris or whatever from the video. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then next to him is my Dark Side of the Moon vinyl covering up the Wi-Fi router, so it's pretty cool. And then above that is my Dark Side poster, and then next to that is another poster, and then over here is another poster. These two actually came with the vinyl, so that's pretty cool. Over here, oh my god, it's me. Over here on my mirror is a wall scarf that also came in the box set. I just hang it here. It's really cool. Okay, now let's get to the more interesting stuff. This part of my room. So over here is another band that I also listen to. This is Rush. And then here is another whiteboard with a bunch of random stuff. Here's some Beatles stickers that I got in a random book. This is my Let It Be setup, and then this is the Beatles setup, and then the main like logo or sticker or whatever. Below that is more stuff from the Immersion box set. These are random pictures from the wall. And then next to that is a picture from when I went to see Brit Floyd, which is a Pink Floyd tribute band. It was really cool. And then next to that is also from the box set. It's a replica ticket from when they went on tour for The Wall in 1980 and 1981. That's cool. Alright, you guys don't care about that. Let's get to some Thomas. So on this top shelf are my Wooden Railway boxes. We got the Mountain Tunnel, Thomas and Burry's Great Race, the Character Story Pack, and the Cranky the Crane box. And then behind this one is the circle set from that one video I made about it. If you remember, if anyone remembers that. Right. And then here is the main stuff. This is the main shelf. So over here on the right side, we have all the painted face variants of the Tommy trains, or you could say the earlier versions. Got Tommy, Edwin, Hen House, Sausage Boy, Red Bitch, and Green Pussy. And then behind them is a Thomas and His Fans little business card that I got from the, I think this was the first time that I went to one of the events. It might have been Northlands, I don't remember. But yeah, I got that. That's cool. Next row is just some Wooden Railway Earl stuff. Over here is like all my favorite Earl stuff. We got a 1994 Thomas, a custom Trouble with Mud James. This was made by Engine Shed Studios, aka Noah. This is a 1992 Henry. And then here are the three main engines from the Thomas Express line with the greatest version of James ever. Like, ever. You can't tell me otherwise. And then next to it is the 1942 Thomas. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention behind the 94 Thomas is a 92 Clarabelle, also given to me by Noah. And then here is the epic Wooden Railway Flying Scotsman, which I got years ago in a Wooden Railway lot. So that's cool. And then behind him are some custom express coach or branch line coaches, which they're basically the Earl coaches, but with Wooden Railway barrel car chassis, also made by Noah, aka Engine Shed Studios. Anyway, over here we got the Earls. Right here is the epic boy himself, City of Truro, aka me, but not painted. So yeah. These next four are the sticker faces, or the early versions of the Earls. So we got Thomas, James, Henry, and Toby. The Toby was actually given to me by Ed's Trains when I went to Northlands with the Thomas and His Fans little group. So that's cool. And then here are some more Earls that Noah gave me. This is a Gordon, Annie, and Clarabelle. And then behind them are some minis, which I don't know why I still have them. I gotta murder them somehow. Speaking of Earls, next is my entire Earl collection, all dedicated to one shelf. So we got all these dudes. I don't think I've made an Earl collection. I've done Tommy and Wooden Railway, but not Earl. Well, you could just take a look for yourself. Yes, I have an Arthur. These three, Bertram, Weathered 16, and Arthur, all were given to me by none other than Noah. And then we got Toad, Birdie, Sir Tom had. Toad is the worst fucking Earl item ever, but that's a discussion for another day. Indian Clarabelle, 5 Troublesome Trucks, Terrence without his treads, Henrietta, some tankers, which were also given to me by Noah. And then this is the Thomas starter set that I got years ago that started this whole thing. And then the pullback Thomas and Percy. Finally, the bottom shelf. Here are the boxes to those to said pullback Thomas and Percy. I just kept them. Earl Crane from one of the sets. And then here are the vintage Tommy Trains, or my only like vintage Tommy Trains items. It's Annie and Clarabelle and Edward's Tender. All were given to me by Noah. And then over here is some of my HO00 Bachman Hornby stuff. So right here, center stage, is Bachman Thomas facing off Hornby Thomas on their own little Hornby track. This shot looks pretty cool. And it's epic. And then watching from the side is both pairs of Bachman and Hornby, Annie and Clarabelle. And then it's just to the side is a Bachman James, which I got pretty recently. I haven't run them yet because I'm fucking lazy. But yeah, I have a Bachman James. So yeah, that's the main shelf. And then one more thing before we move on to the basement. I'll show you a bit of the closet. You may say, ooh, closet's boring, why don't you care? Blammo. This is where I keep some boxes. Right here is the Hornby Thomas box. Behind that is the Bachman Thomas box. Back there is the Ertl Deluxe playset box. And then here is a knockoff Tomy box called Happy Train. I did take out the engine for one of my short films called Really Useful Life. You can give that a watch. But I pretty much smashed this with a hammer in the video. And also you can tell that I took really good care of the box. And then inside is just knockoff Tomy track. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this because I don't really want to keep this around. Might burn it or destroy it or something. I don't know yet. That's a story for another day. Yeah, so that's the room, or my bedroom. And now we're gonna move on to the basement. Alright, so now we take a walk down here past the many beverages. Coming down, you look up, and welcome to the basement, which is where most of the collection will be. Both Thomas and Vigigame. So let's actually start with the Vigigames, or video games, because I know you Thomas people may or may not care, but we're gonna do it anyway. So here's the Epic TV. It's a TV. Moving on. Here is my Nintendo Switch. I got this back in 2018, so it's an older model. Here's my third-party Pro controller. It gets the job done. Headset, microphone. I haven't really used this in a while. And then down here are some of the older consoles. Now, for those of you that are probably way younger than my targeted demographic, probably don't know what these are. On the left here is the SNES, or the Super Nintendo, or the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. This is one of my favorite consoles of all time. I'd say this is number 3, probably number 3, because it has one of my favorite Mario games on here, which I'll show you in a bit when we get to the game collection. And then next to that is the PlayStation 1, also another older console. I haven't really used this one in a while, but I'm probably gonna get back into collecting games for it. And then down here is my second favorite game console of all time, the Xbox 360, which has a lot of my favorite childhood games on here, including Minecraft, Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2, Grand Theft Auto 5, and I'll just show you when we get to them. And then here is just Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is one of the games that I put into the Switch. That's why the case is right here. Here's a little table of random stuff. This is a Super Mario Bros. Like soundtrack CD thing. I got this when I got Super Mario All-Stars for the Wii. It came in this like cool little box set. I don't know what happened to the game though, but I still have that. And then here is the Super Mario Maker little booklet that you would get when you would buy Super Mario Maker, which I got back a couple of years ago. Above that is a new Super Mario Bros. U poster. You may have seen this in the background of one of my videos because it's just out there. I'd say New Super Mario Bros. U is my favorite in the New Super Mario Bros. Series. Probably one of the reasons is because I 100%ed this one. That's just how fun it is. And then above it is my main, well, not really main, but one of the main video game areas, the Epic shelves. Let's start from the left on the bottom. So here is my NES Classic Edition, which I got back when it came out. I got it at GameStop for 60 bucks. I didn't get it for scalper prices. Get wrecked. Still a pretty cool item. I haven't hooked it up in a while, but I might. Here's a Game Boy mug, which literally just sits here. I haven't had any beverages or liquids in here. Just making sure. No, okay, no, I don't. Right here is my Amiibo collection. Oh, there's some over here as well, just those two. Some Smash Bros, some Mario, and there's a cool little classic 8-bit Mario Amiibo. Behind that is the poster that comes with the NES Classic Edition. it's supposed to replicate a poster like you would get for the actual NES back in 1985. And it's really, really cool. In front, in the main centerpiece, are two of my boxed Genesis games. I have Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Risk. These are pretty cool and epic. Behind that, this is just a box for the light projector that I use. I don't know why it's just here. Might as well move that. Here are some of my books and other stuff. So here I have 2 issues of Nintendo Power, which is back in the 80s. Top Secret Passwords, Nintendo Player Guide. What else? Another book on the NES. This is a Mario history thing. That's cool. This is the Mario, like the Super Mario Adventures thing. Here, you know, let me move these fucking boxes out of the way. Ah! Okay. So anyway, now that we can see, Super Mario Adventures. And then when I was chained to GameStop, now that I don't go there anymore, I had the Gamer, what is it? I forgot. The Game Informer subscription magazine, which is basically Nintendo, it's just a video game magazine subscription for today. But I don't get these anymore because GameStop screamed at me that if I didn't get any like deals or anything, then they would kill me. But now I don't go to GameStop anymore because they're kind of pooey. Put those back, and then to the right, more boxes, but more amiibos. I have a blue Yarn Yoshi amiibo and an Inkling Boy amiibo with a N64 controller keychain. Down here is a Super Nintendo backpack, like a tiny ass one. I don't know why I don't know why I have this, it's just there. What else? Okay, here is some of my games. I'm gonna open these. Top left, my PS1 games with both DualShock controllers. Get a good look here. I just have like a bunch of random games. I have Pro Skater 2, Tomb Raider 2, PGA Tour, Pinball, and then like a flying game, I think, NASCAR there. It's pretty cool. Down here are my Switch games. We got Sonic Mania Plus, Super Mario Maker 2, Minecraft 1-2 Switch, Smash Bros. Ultimate, which I don't really play anymore because it's pooey, Mario Odyssey, Undertale, Snipper Clips, which I played once and then never again because it was fucking boring, Dragon Ball FighterZ, and Mario Tennis Aces. To the right is my Super Nintendo little collection thing. Here's the SNES mouse, which is used on Mario Paint. 2 SNES controllers. Here's the Super Game Boy peripheral, which lets you play Game Boy games on the Super Nintendo, which I don't have any Game Boy games anymore to show off. And then here are the games. I have 2 copies of Mario Paint. Don't ask why, it's because I swear that's like the most common game for the Super Nintendo. And back here we got, I'll take them out, Street Fighter 2, epic game. Super Mario Kart, also pretty epic. And then we have the best Mario game of all time, Super Mario World. I don't care what you say, this is the GOAT, the best. You motherfuckers say it's like Mario 3 or Mario Odyssey. No, this is the GOAT. And then below that is just a Super Tennis, but no one cares about that. So that's the Super Nintendo collection. And then below that, we have its big competition, Sega Genesis, which I have the Model 2 one. It literally just sits here. If I ever feel like plugging in, then I have that. There's the controller. And then my other 2 Genesis games, which are Sonic 3D Blast and NBA Jam. And then, finally to the left, we got my Xbox 360 games, which are Sonic Generations, Halo Reach, Minecraft, Skate 3, Wheel of Fortune, 2 Guitar Hero games, Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2, South Park The Stick of Truth, and GTA 5. All of these are epic. In here are random controllers, wheels, PS2 controller, which I think I have a PS2 lying around somewhere. I don't know. I'll probably find it. All right. So, and then like to finish off the games, here are some Guitar Hero controllers, I guess. All right, that's pretty much it for the games. Now, to the main choo-choo stuff. All right, since we're across from the video games section, let's start with the Thomas stuff next to that. So here is just a random Tomy Trackmaster stuff with some video game posters in the background. Yay. So here is my Spin and Fix Thomas box, which I got off Facebook Marketplace. I did an unboxing video on that if you want to check that out. Here are the plastic faces for the main Tomy engines, kind of like my painted face variants on the boys. And then next to that are my 3 different Talking Action Thomases. I think it's British, Japanese, and then British. It could be like a different order, but I have 2 British ones and a Japanese one. And then next to that are some other epic Tomy items. We got the Back and Go Thomas, the Annoyed Face Thomas, Shocked Face Percy with a Shocked Face Thomas shell on top, Buzz James, and then some road vehicles with a vintage Tomy Sir Topham hat sitting on top. We got Birdie, Bulgy, Terrence, Trevor, and Harold. Below that are some more boxes and some other random stuff. Here's the box for the Japanese Talking Action Thomas set, which came with that one of those. That's really cool. And then we have the Cranky at the Dock set, which I got from eBay. It's also pretty cool. And then we got the boys, the epics. I give them their own shelf because that's what they deserve. It's so cool. I have 6 Laughing Troublesome Vans. I don't have a problem. It's just they're really cool. And then next to them are my Steam Along Thomas, which doesn't work, and a random Tomy James. And the Steam Along Thomas is on some, yeah, they have the Tomy Track like connectors, but I don't know like what, if this is like a different brand or like if this is Tomy Track. It's weird, but I just decided to put them on that because why not? Next to that is this table with some big goodies. We got the Steamworks with Playwright Victor sitting on it. And then next to him is the big boy, the giant Playrail Thomas, or giant Tomy Thomas, whatever. And I feel like this one is possessed because like I keep thinking his eyes like look at me for no reason. Okay, moving on. Then next to him are some destinations that I haven't put on the layout yet. We got the Ertl Sheds, the Washdown, and Dry Off Station, or Herald Station, whatever you want to call it. Over here is Trackmaster Tidmouth Sheds, which is just laying on the ground here. And then next to that is my HO little loop layout thing, which I haven't really expanded upon. I feel like I'm gonna move this somewhere and like build another layout along here. But yeah, and then obviously on it is my King George, I think it's, what is it? King George V GWR Loco. It's really fucking cool. And it's respected coaches. There's the box for it. It's cool. And then some more easy straight track. And I bought this. This is the abrasive block, which is what I use to just kind of clean the track, which it does the job. I've figured that out. When I cleaned those 2 pieces of straight track and ran the engine, it ran around smoothly. So this does the job. If you're getting into model railroading, get this. This is a lifesaver. What else? More track. This is my drum set. We're gonna make a bunch of freaking noise, but that's not part of this, whatever. That's stuff I'm selling, so we don't care about that. Over here, this is a big one. This is my set. As you can see with the sky background and the little grass mat. So this is just a little set that I built. This is based off of the Hornby box layout that you see on the back of the box. I just saw it on the Hornby Thomas box, and I was like, you know what? I should build that in Tomy. So I just followed it, and this is what came of it. And here we got two Wellsworths with the little walk bridge, Ertl water tower, some trees, Blair Thomas and with his coaches, and Stepney with Oliver's coaches having a chat, I guess, at Farquhar. And then Donald and Douglas, the Hit Toys ones, are just sitting in the sheds. And then in this shed, oh no, it's evil creepypasta boy. Anyway, so yeah. And then next to that is like another freaking table, which I could expand the layout on, but I don't feel like it. Below that, that's all my yellow risers. I know I have a lot, but it was just, I was at the right place at the right time. And then next to that is all my switches, double risers, and like turntables and like special track whatnot. Below that, or below this table, is more bins. The far one back there is for road pieces. This one, well, has the rail yard on it, but I never use that because it's kind of pooey. The middle one is those little like red bridges that like break easily. I just have like a shit ton of them in there. And then here is like bridge pieces and like other random crap. Making our way this way by the little bar area, this is where I keep the Tomy engines. That's my little shelf right here. All the cool boys. And then below that is the rolling stock. This isn't all of them. I just keep them. I just keep the ones that I use the most on this shelf. And here is all my Tomy straight and curve track. This is how big the bin is. I have a lot. Up here is some more mess. This is my little, I guess, adapters and short straight pieces. A bag full of minifigures if I feel like it. Bag full of cargo. Right here is my non-Thomas motorized engines. We got 2 Japanese steam engines and the Amtrak train. And then in here is like more destinations for Tomy. In here is Knapford. It's pretty cool. More random crap. I don't know why I have this many tunnels. Alright, so sorry about the cut there. I got interrupted. Like, fucking god damn it. Anyway. So yeah, I don't know why I have this many tunnels. I guess it's just, there's more stuff on the bottom, but it's just miscellaneous crap. And then down here is all my other rolling stock. This is random as frick. I got like so many salt vans and like Indian Clarabelles. It's just crazy. And what else? Oh yeah, one more. So if we go to the back rooms, let's go to the back rooms. Ooh, so spooky. Ooh, spooky. Right here. All right, sorry about that noise. This is where I keep my, actually, let me turn this on. Right here is where I keep all my wooden railway stuff in the back rooms. So here we got custom Green Express coaches, also made by Noah Engine Shed Studios. And here are my main wooden railway engines. So these are like, all of these are in the, like the 1996 variant. And then it's just other characters here. Down here are more characters like narrow gauge engines and road and like other non-rail vehicles. And then finally here is all the rolling stock, or all the main rolling stock here. Neat. This bin has bigger destinations like the mountain tunnel, the roundhouse, special engine sheds, the work shed, all that kind of stuff. Random bin. This is the diaper box that you see in the background of some videos. I just keep some wooden railway stuff in here. More destinations and normal non-clickety-clack track in there. But then below that, this is the bin where I keep all my clickety-clack track. Or box, whatever. It's cool. And then finally, back here are all my like duplicates and stuff. Here's all the random like cargo cars, cabooses, whatnot. More duplicates. I might sell more of this stuff. Down here, is my Knapford, another shed, figures and like signals and stuff. And then finally, down here, more destinations. Shed, water tower, tunnel, and yeah. Oh yeah, and here's just random duplicates, like, or like broken stuff. So yeah, I think that'll do it for the basement and the room tour. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and leave a comment saying how I'm such a man-child because my collection is so fucking big. And if you ever want to like take over your parents' basement with all this train stuff, well, you can do that. I should probably stop now. Alright, so thank you all for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.